Hey everybody, it's me Stacey here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Hello everybody, hi. We're doing things a little bit different today, but different is always good, right? You learn something new every day. I'm learning something new today, how to go from my phone to YouTube. We're gonna get it done. So, gosh, there's a lot to say and a lot to talk about. Now, I'm supposed to be here today filming what would have been our Saturday with Stacey YouTube class. And of course, that's my full-length, commercial-free, technique-based class I do every Saturday morning where we live chat and we just spend a couple hours crafting together. Well, that didn't happen, and so I thought I would be coming in today to film what was going to be my Sunday with Stacey YouTube class. And again, featuring fabulous products. I have Sizzix for you and 49 and Market. And since Saturday didn't happen, I thought I'd be able to come in today and do Sunday. I was sure of it. I was positive that today was going to be A-okay. But then I woke up this morning and, well, okay, so let's start at the beginning. For those of you who aren't aware, Scrapbooking Made Simple is located in sunny Southern California. And I think everybody across the globe is aware of what's been happening in sunny Southern California. And I say Southern California because that's kind of an important distinction between the rest of California. Now, we are the Sunshine State and we have the most beautiful weather all the time, blue skies, 80 degrees out on Christmas, and oodles of people globally want to come to California to vacation. But every now and then, a certain period of time in our year, we have something called the Santa Ana winds. And the Santa Ana winds are also known as, well, they're named after, I think it's called a Kabatic wind or a Kabatic wind. It's flowing downhill is what ultimately the kind of wind that we have, which has now been named Santa Ana. Flowing downhill is the meaning of it. So it's these winds that happen usually starting in September, and it can go all the way into April, sometimes May, and they come kind of out of nowhere, and they're really strong, but they're really warm winds. They're not an onshore breeze where we're getting it from the ocean and it's blowing inward and it's bringing cool air. These winds go through the valleys and the deserts and push out towards the Pacific Ocean and take warm wind out to the Pacific Ocean. And depending on whether it's a high pressure that's going out and a low pressure at the ocean, depending on how the atmospheric stuff is happening, the bigger the difference is between the pressures, the high pressure and the low pressure, the stronger the winds are. Now, as I was growing up, and I grew up literally, the house that I came home to as a baby is literally a mile from here. As I was growing up, the Santa Ana winds were not something that anybody really thought about. They were a way of life, and they started in September, and they brought this fabulous warm breeze. And as a child, I remember them fondly, truly fondly, because you could go out and you could be in your shorts. And let me tell you, when I was a kid, your parents said, go out and play. Go outside and play. You didn't stay in the house. There weren't devices and video games or any of that. And so your parents would send you out and say, come back when the street lights come on. And when the Santa Ana winds would come, I could go outside and this warm wind would just brush against me and blow past me. And it was this comforting wind because it wasn't cold. So it could be kind of windy outside, but you didn't need a jacket and you weren't shivering or cold. It was just this warm kiss of air that brushed past you. And that is how I remember Santa Ana winds growing up. I remember them as a time that I loved because I could be outside and with just my shorts and my t-shirt on, and yet this warmth around me. As an adult, Santa Ana winds have taken on a completely different meaning, and you will hear through many of my videos, I will say, okay, we've been given a wind event warning, and so I'm going to have to speed this up because I don't know when our power's going to get turned off. And I know people have emailed us and they're like, what do you mean they turn your power off? Well, California is known for earthquakes. Yes, we have those. We're not necessarily known for, we're not known for tornadoes or hurricanes or anything along that line. So a wind event, they're like, what is a wind event? Well, it is these Santa Ana winds that are blowing through the canyons and the deserts and pushing out towards the Pacific Ocean. And those winds can be fiercely strong, gusts up to 100 miles an hour. Yeah, hurricane winds, but warm winds up to 100 miles an hour. Now, over the years, there's been many, many wildfires in California, and quite frequently, they can start because of a power line that has been affected by the wind and it's blown down, and even a spark. Right now, people, it is forbidden for you to go out with your to blow your leaves, a leaf blower. You can't have that outside right now. Anything that may throw a spark of any kind, California has said, stop. Don't do it. Southern California, stop. The county of Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles, just stop. Because even something as small as a spark, just a little spark, can start what you are seeing on your TVs, the devastation that you are seeing. The Palisades fire did not start big. It was just a little tiny fire, I think maybe in a backyard, that the wind took and has literally caused devastation to the extent that I have never seen before in California. Not ever. Thousands and thousands of homes and businesses and buildings and cars are gone. The loss of human life, it absolutely breaks my heart. It's been horrible to watch, heartbreaking to watch, and maybe because I have an inside eye of what is facing all of these families, whether they were living in an apartment or a home or a condo or whatever they called home, they don't have anymore. And I lost my home to a fire not that long ago, and it took 3 years to rebuild it, trying to work with the insurance companies. So besides the shock and the denial, because I denied I couldn't believe, I just said, I can't believe this. I could not believe that we had lost our home. The shock, the denial, the dismay, the heartache, the memories, the treasured little mementos that mean the world. It's not the car, it's not the clothes that somebody's gonna cry over. It's that one picture that they have, that one memento that they have that meant the world to them, that they couldn't get out in time. And I understand that too. Our fire was at 3:30 in the morning and we got our kids out, but we didn't get we didn't pack. You don't pack for something like that. And this fire, the fires in Southern California, also did not give a lot of opportunity, if any, for these families to pack anything to get out. Some got out with just the clothes on their backs. I understand that too. So it's been a global thing about the wildfires here in Southern California and the Santa Ana winds and the wind events. And in an effort to mitigate and make it safer, the power companies do have the right to turn off our power to our homes, to our businesses, and in hopes of keeping a spark from happening. And I think the best way to explain it is that my building, where Scrapbooking Made Simple is literally as old as I am. I'm 56, and I think this building might have been here when I was brought home. It might even be older than me. And back then, in the olden days, they didn't put your power lines underground. We have power poles, and the power lines were daisy chained from power pole to power pole, and in fact the phone lines too. And where my business is, which is the oldest neighborhood in Canyon Country, the homes here are 60, 70 years old. They're still done with a power pole, daisy chaining everybody's power together. I really can't imagine what it would take to come back now and try to put all the utilities underground. I really can't. But if you cross the street, literally cross the street, 100 yards across the street, the shopping center is newer. Maybe it's only 40 years old. Well, no, maybe it's 50 years old, not 60 years old. But their utilities are underground. So any place that the power company feels necessary, and that's usually places that have power lines, they will shut the power off. So when you hear me talk about a wind event and losing our power, I think that it was hard for people. Some people, they would question, well, what does that mean? Or why are they shutting your power off? But now that you've seen what can be done with wind and the harm that wind can bring with just a spark, I think that it breaks my heart that you have to see it. It breaks my heart that anybody has to go through it. But it does explain why things happen, why we lose our power, why we have to close. And that's just kind of the way it is. And honestly, I would have my power turned off as many times as needed to prevent one family, even if it prevented just one family, from having to go through the loss of potentially their loved ones or their home. It breaks my heart because I do fully understand how they feel. I can empathize with them, and I know the long road that's ahead of them. So we had our power turned off at our shop, and then we had our power turned off at our home because there was the Hearst fire and the Lydia fire. And Santa Clarita is tucked in this little valley, and we've got mountain ridges on either side of us. And my home actually butts up against one of the mountain ridges. And the Hearst fire was on the other side of the ridge until it wasn't. And the Lydia fire was over here until it wasn't. And before we knew what was happening, the fires were kind of closing in on each other. And our home is on the outlying areas of Santa Clarita, and our community is on the outlying area and would have been the first community to be affected. So no power at the house, and in fact, evacuation warnings. Now, my husband, Michael, Mr. SMS, he has medications that have to be refrigerated. He has medical apparatuses that need power. So we immediately went to a hotel. And we stayed there for a few days until we got the all clear. We just got the all clear, literally, to come back home. And so I posted homeward bound. I posted on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, homeward bound. And I thought everything was going to be okay until I got another alert that, again, there's a wind event coming. It's coming this week, today, tomorrow, potentially through Wednesday, and the winds are going to be strong. The fires are not out yet. Gratefully and thankfully, the Hearst fire and the Lydia fire are contained, but the Palisades fire certainly is not, and is pushing all the way upwards to Brentwood. And I know that I know the space between the Pacific Ocean and Brentwood. It's a huge distance from each other, or the Pacific Ocean and Encino, and how a fire can travel miles upon miles upon miles is just shocking to me. But it's those embers. It's those embers. If there was no wind, the devastation would not be what it is. But it's the embers. The wind picks those embers up and they can travel for a mile in themselves, land somewhere, and the next thing you know, just this little ember is creating a whole new havoc, a whole new problem, a whole new potential devastation to a whole new community. So I thought I was coming in today because I thought we were going to not do, since I couldn't do Saturday with Stacey, that was not possible. I was in a hotel room. I thought I'd be able to come in today, Saturday, and film Sunday with Stacey, featuring 49 and Market and Sizzix. I have such a good YouTube for you. I have such a great class for you. I'm using the Stamp and Spin, I embossing powder and glitter and ink, and oh my gosh. But then I got a notification from the power company that we would be losing power to the store and power to my home again. Mind you, we just got it back. Just got it back. So I ran to the store and I got everything set up and I started the class, and then poof, the power went down. I thought in my mind, oh, you'll be fine, Stacey. You won't do a 2-hour class or a 2.5-hour class. You'll do something quick and simple, 20, 30 minutes. That'll give you time to get it loaded onto YouTube. And nope, nope. Power went down, and that was the end of that. So I think that this is my way of, I think that I now understand this is going to have to wait. There isn't going to be a Saturday with Stacey this week, and there isn't going to be a Sunday with Stacey this week, and there might not be a Make It Monday or a In the Studio with Stacey. It's possible that this wind event will be another 2 or 3 days, maybe 4, I don't know. But whatever it is, because if by keeping the power off means that one less family has to experience this, as hard as it is for me and my employees, this is what we have to do. It's about the greater good, as opposed to what I personally want, or it's not about that anymore. It's about the greater good and taking care of our community and taking care of Southern California. It's that important. So yes, it's hard to be closed. Trust me. It's hard for my employees to not be able to work. But in the scheme of things, the long term, this will be a blip in the past. And we won't look back on this with any kind of recollection, really, because we haven't been harmed the way so many thousands of others have. And really, we should be grateful for that. I am grateful for that. I do have a home to go back to. Honestly, I think if we lost our home a second time, I think I would probably just throw the towel in. I don't know that I could do it twice. So I want to thank you for your understanding that this is the way it is sometimes. And we have to just go with the flow and do the best we can and really put our needs second to what is necessary for the greater. And that is what the power company has done. And you can't be mad at them for turning the power off if they're trying to help save or mitigate, save somebody else the devastation and the harm and the hurt and the dismay of losing a loved one, their pet, their home, their car, their possessions. So I want to apologize to Sizzix and say I'm sorry I couldn't get it done this week. For me, that's really, really hard. I'm a girl that doesn't let people down. So saying that I can't do something, I hear my father, my father's daughter, and And I know that if there was a will, there's a way, but they're just really, I can't seem to figure one out because I don't have power at my house and I don't have power here. So I can't take everything home and try to film from there, clear off Mr. SMS's desk at home and make Stacey's spot because I don't have a crafting space at home. This is it. So I thought, well, if there's power at home, I'll just pack everything up and we'll do it from there. But there isn't. And I think sometimes you just have to take a step back and say, okay, it is what it is, and this is life telling me to just take a slow your roll, Stacey. Slow your roll. And I know that all of you will understand. And I know Sizzix will understand, and I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm not a girl who disappoints. And to 49 and Market, I'm sorry too. I will be back. We'll just push this. We'll just push everybody's YouTube down one. And if I can do this next Saturday, this is the YouTube that I'll do next Saturday. And then the YouTube I was supposed to do next Saturday, that manufacturer's going to have to understand it's going to get pushed and it's just going to domino down. But I know that everybody has seen the devastation and the destruction that these fires have done, and I know that everybody is understanding and supportive and sending their best and their love and their prayers. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to post the product. I'm going to put the product up under the YouTube Yummies site. And while I know it's not a lot, we're not a big company. We're not. But we have to do something. I'm not a girl also who just sits around to do and does nothing. If I can help in any way, I'm that girl. I'm always the girl that stops at the traffic accident. I'm always the girl. That's me. That's who I am. So I'm going to put the 49 and Market product up. I'm going to put the items that we would be YouTubing normally up. So there'll be some WOW product and the Stamp and Spin, and we're not gonna do anything with it today, but I think the right thing to do is to take 10% of all sales from this week and next week, because I hope to have the YouTube with us, 10% of all sales to go to the American Red Cross. Not 10% of the profits, 10% of the sales. And so any of your orders, whether it be $20 or $50 or 10% of that will go to the American Red Cross. Again, not 10% of the profit. I'm not going to cut the order and look at what it cost me and deduct that. We're just going to take a total look at sales and then send 10% of that to the American Red Cross on behalf of the Scrapbooking Made Simple peeps. Because I know that there are people who will need it. I've never seen anything like this, ever. Thousands of homes, thousands, businesses. It's unbelievable. And while we're just a little drop in the bucket, every little drop helps. So I will be hopefully back next week with a Saturday with Stacey YouTube class featuring Sizzix and 49 and Market. And again, my apologies to these two companies. If I could have figured out how to get it done, I would have, but I just can't. But I will make it up to you. And I want to do right by all of the SMS peeps and Sizzix and 49 and Market, and to just throw something together is not me. I have a great class for you. So we'll wait until I can teach you that great class, just like I have envisioned it in my head. No shortcuts, no quickies, no, hey, let me show you the samples, but I'm not going to show you how I did that. No, we'll just wait. And I know all of you are so supportive and so understanding that you're like, yep, let's just wait. So I encourage you, if you love Sizzix, if you love 49 and Market, I'll have my inks up there, I'll have my glitters up there. go ahead, place your order. Know that a portion of it is going to help the American Red Cross. And then I'll be back on Saturday, assuming we have power, and we'll do a Saturday with Stacey So with all of this product. So it will be up for 2 weeks. And 2 weeks opportunity. And it doesn't matter if you order this or you order adhesive or you order whatever you order, any order. 10% of any order at Scrapbooking Made Simple will go to help the American Red Cross. Boy, do they have their hands full right now. Wow. All right, you guys. Well, I appreciate your time. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get this loaded. I'm going to go over by like Starbucks or Panera where I can get free Wi-Fi and see if I can get this loaded to our YouTube channel. And just thank you for everything. You all are amazing, and you make my life richer and fuller and better. And I can't ever repay you for what you give me. It's so much more than you think. So there may be no Make It Monday, maybe no in the studio with Stacey. I will keep you updated as to when the power is going to be turned back on. I now need to let my staff know that once again, I don't know that they can come to work on Monday. It's hard for them too. All right, you guys. Until next time, it's me, Stacey. Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. And thanks for your time. Bye, everybody.